My arm was already burning when I understood what had just bitten me. I am Daniel Okafor. I run a small scrapyard on the edge of New Harbor, where broken machines from the sky end up when nobody wants them anymore. That night, something fell that was not a machine. A container crashed into the mud behind my yard. It cracked open, and smoke poured out of it. I should have called someone right away. Instead, I walked closer, because I wanted to know what had landed on my land. That was my mistake. A creature stepped out of the smoke. It moved low to the ground, folding its long limbs like it did not want to be seen. Its skin looked like wet stone, and its eyes shone in the dark, 4 of them, watching me without blinking. I froze. It did not. It moved faster than anything I had ever seen. 1 second it was 10 steps away, and the next second, its teeth were in my arm. I felt something sharp and burning slide into my skin, like fire mixed with ice. Then it let go and jumped back, shaking its head, making a strange sound. It looked confused. It looked at me like I had done something wrong, when it was the one who had just bitten me. I did not understand why it looked so surprised. Not yet. My arm throbbed. I grabbed a metal bar from a nearby pile, my hands shaking. Every instinct in me said to run, but something else, something deeper, told me to stand and fight. The creature circled me slowly, still confused, still watching. It made another sound, sharp and clicking, like it was talking to itself. Then it moved again, faster than before, and I swung the bar with everything I had. I missed. It knocked me down, and for a moment, the sky spun above me. I expected the worst. I expected my body to stop working, to go numb, to fail. That is what should happen after a bite like that. But my heart kept beating. My arms kept moving. My legs pushed me back up, before I even decided to stand. The creature stepped back again, tilting its head. It seemed to be studying me, the way someone studies a puzzle that does not make sense. I did not know it then, but this creature was not just a wild animal. It was trained. It was sent by people far beyond our sky, people who study every living thing before deciding how to deal with it. It had a job to do, and that job involved me, though I never asked to be part of it. Every world it had visited before mine had creatures that reacted a certain way to its bite. They would grow weak, they would fall. They would stop fighting within a minute, sometimes less. That was the plan. That was what always happened. But I was still standing. I swung the bar again, and this time I hit something. The creature let out a sharp cry and stumbled sideways, knocking over a stack of old car doors. Metal crashed around us, loud and sharp in the quiet night. I did not feel strong. I felt terrified. My hands were shaking so much I almost dropped the bar, but something in me refused to stop, refused to lie down, refused to let this creature win without a real fight. It came at me again, faster this time, and I barely dodged. Its claws caught my jacket, ripping the fabric but missing my skin. I twisted around and hit it again, this time across its side. It made a sound that I can only describe as pained, though I could not be sure. I had never heard anything like it before. Minutes passed like this. Strike, dodge, strike again. My chest burned from breathing so hard. My legs felt heavy, but they still moved. My arm, the one it had bitten, still hurt, but it had not gone numb. If anything, it felt stronger, like something inside me was fighting back against whatever had entered my body. The creature backed away again, further this time. Its 4 eyes blinked rapidly, and its long frill along its neck, which had been raised the whole fight, slowly lowered. It looked less like a hunter now, and more like something confused, maybe even something afraid. I did not lower my guard. I could not. Every part of me expected another attack, another rush of movement faster than my eyes could follow, but it did not come. Instead, the creature made a low sound, almost like a question, and stepped back one more time. That was when the lights came. Bright white beams cut through the night, followed by the low hum of an engine. A vehicle I did not recognize landed near the yard entrance, and figures stepped out, wearing suits that shimmered faintly under the moonlight. They moved quickly toward us, speaking words I could not understand, though their tone was calm and controlled. One of them raised a device toward the creature, and it did not resist. It simply lowered itself to the ground, as if it had already decided the fight was over long before they arrived. A woman stepped toward me. She had short brown hair and kind eyes, though her expression stayed serious. "Are you hurt?" she asked, her English careful but clear. I looked down at my arm. There was a mark where the bite had been, but the bleeding had already stopped. It looked like it was healing faster than it should. "I think so," I said, though I was not entirely sure what hurt meant anymore after everything that had just happened. She studied my arm for a moment, then looked back at the creature, still lowered on the ground, still watched closely by the others. "You should not be standing," she said quietly, almost to herself. I did not understand what she meant, not until later, when I learned more about what that bite was supposed to do. They took the creature away that night, along with samples of my blood, more than I felt comfortable giving. I did not argue. I was too tired, too confused, too shaken to argue about anything. For the next few days, my life continued as normal. I fixed a fence at the yard entrance where the metal doors had fallen. I answered questions from people in suits who visited more than once, asking about the night, about the bite, about how I felt afterward. My arm healed completely within a week, leaving barely a mark where it had been. It was almost a month later when I learned what had truly happened that night, from a man named Owen, who worked with the group that had come to the yard. We met at a small diner near the edge of town, where he ordered coffee and told me things I still find hard to believe. "The creature that bit you," he said, stirring his coffee slowly, "was trained to end fights in under a minute. It had done this many times before, on many different worlds, against many different kinds of creatures. But it did not end anything with me," I said. "No," he said, shaking his head slightly. "It did not, and that is why it is no longer doing this kind of work." I asked him what he meant, and he explained that the creature, once it returned to wherever it came from, had chosen to stop its line of work entirely. It had reported that this world was too unpredictable, too dangerous in ways it had never expected. It had never seen a creature keep standing, keep fighting, keep healing the way I had that night. "It was not afraid of you specifically," Owen said. "It was afraid of not knowing what to expect, and in that line of work, not knowing can be the most dangerous thing of all." I sat quietly for a while, thinking about that night. I still did not feel brave. I still did not feel strong. I only remembered being terrified, swinging a metal bar with shaking hands, refusing to stop even when every part of me wanted to. Maybe that was enough. Maybe surviving was never about being fearless. Maybe it was only about refusing to give up, even when everything told you that you should. Owen finished his coffee and looked at me carefully. "You should know," he said, "that what happened to you is being studied closely now. People are trying to understand why your body reacted the way it did, why you healed so quickly, why the bite did not affect you the way it was supposed to." I nodded slowly, though I did not have any answers for him. I still do not. All I know is that on an ordinary night, in an ordinary scrapyard, something extraordinary happened. A creature trained to end lives quickly and quietly met someone who refused to stop moving, refused to stop breathing, refused to let go. By morning, that creature was gone from wherever they had taken it, transferred somewhere far from here, its old line of work left behind completely. I still run my scrapyard. I still walk through the same yard every day, past the spot where that container once crashed into the mud. Sometimes I stop there for a moment, remembering that night, remembering the fear, remembering how close everything came to ending differently. But it did not end that way. I am still here, still standing, still breathing. And somewhere out there, a creature that once ended fights in under a minute, now tells others to be careful of quiet places like mine, of ordinary people who do not know when to stop. I never asked to be part of something like that. I never wanted to prove anything to anyone. I only wanted to survive one strange, terrifying night. And somehow, without understanding exactly how, I did.